So you describe yourself as a second wave feminist. What does a second
Mhm.
wave feminist mean? I mean, the first wave, are we talking the women's suffrage movement? Are we talking,
Mhm.
equal rights for women in the day-to-day
Right,
life?
right.
And
Yeah.
second wave would be,
To me, the second wave is more inclusive of LGBT rights, but also being sex positive. And the third wave, or even fourth wave at this point, I don't even know, are people that are just basically science deniers, and anybody can be a woman and anybody can be female. And it's like, there has to be a line that's drawn, because some of these the rights, or some of the social implications of the laws that are being changed have big social implications, right? We now have people that are saying that they are trans women, and they might very well be, but have not transitioned in any sense of the word, competing in female sports, dominating female sports, not every time, but a lot of the time. We have people that are, calling themselves trans women that identify as lesbians, and then hating on people that are female like myself that only want to date women that have vaginas, like lesbians that only want to, or straight men that only want to date women with vaginas. And like, that shouldn't be a controversial statement, right? Which is why I don't like calling myself a feminist, because you're automatically, placed in the box with these new third wave feminists or fourth wave feminists that, everybody is valid in their own way and everybody is special. And I'm like, yes, but no, like, you have to have, like, that there has to be a definition, you know a set definition on words for us to make sense of, and for us to write laws around, right, for it to make sense to society.
why do you think there is such a push, or such a big movement of people who become a woman seemingly out of nowhere? Like, is
Mm-hmm.
it a depression thing? They feel like, because I much like you, genuinely believe that transgender people feel within themselves that they were born in the wrong body, and if you
Mm-hmm.
want to be a woman or a man, if it makes you happy and it doesn't affect anybody else, baby, you
Go
do it.
for it.
You go for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely. Um,
exactly. I think there's a push, not necessarily to be a woman. I think it's actually the opposite. I think there's a big push to be anything other than a woman. And by when I say woman, I mean somebody that's, you know presenting female. Like, they might not technically be female, but they're presenting as a woman. I think people are actually straying away from that. I think most people that are female, that identify as like LGBT in some way, or identify as queer, are claiming all these other different identities to become, maybe they want to become more oppressed, maybe they just don't want to be women. um you know I posted something on Twitter. I retweeted something on Twitter yesterday, from a therapist that I follow that works closely with transgender youth. Um, and she was quoting one of her clients or something that she saw online. And it said something like, "I'm asexual and polyamorous." And she's like, literally, that just means that you like having a lot of friends. So
yeah,
it's like, like, yeah, does asexuality exist? Probably. Does polyamory exist? Yes. But like, when you use certain words together, it literally just means words that have existed for all time. So like,
yeah.
why are we changing the way we say things, and why are we changing the words to mean something that already exists?
Why are you double handling it? Like,
Why
it
are you doubling, right? And to me,
doesn't
it's
need to
because
be.
I agree with you. I think it's more oppression points. They want more labels on themselves, and I'm a big fan of labels, but not when you're using it to oppress yourself and to victimize yourself. I'm not a fan of that.
with with
Um,
with the labels now.
mhm.
I guess people who are gay, they have that label. That is a label, right? I mean, it's
Right.
straight people don't really use it as a. I mean, I guess some straight people do. Maybe some straight people just don't even think about it. Can that label be positive? Because I know a lot of the labels that are thrown around, like, you have to belong to this certain club, you have to be a part of this certain group to be welcome. So you think that labels can be really positive as well?
I think labels can be used as negative or positive. I think these types of people use them for whatever for whatever the agenda is for them at the moment.
Sure.
So if somebody is LGBT, or oppressed, or in their mind, whatever the hell they're trying to say, they will use labels like, listen to black trans women, listen to trans people, listen to gay men, listen to and then it's like, at the same time, they'll also say, I hate cis straight white men, which is also a label, but they say like everybody is valid, but no, not cis straight white men. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So they'll use different labels and different ways of, they'll use the labels as they see fit. It could be labels can mean a good thing, you know, if you're oppressed, I guess, and if you're seen as the patriarchy or white supremacy or whatever, they'll use the labels that haven't even been given to you by yourself, right? Like, you don't call yourself a cis straight white man, probably. You just probably call yourself your name.
Yeah.
And they'll impose that on you and say, listen, you know, you can't speak because you have privilege, or you can't speak because you're white, or you can't speak on this because whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they use it in whatever way benefits them at the moment.